Throughout my time in Iraq, Syria, Ukraine, even the Marine Corps, there's a lot of bootleg life hacks that I've learned. A budget-friendly approach to having a setup. I am a true believer that the soldier makes the gear does not make the soldier. So you don't need the most expensive equipment in order to be effective on the battlefield. Every single one of these that I'm about to tell you is something that I've used in a combat setting. And the first one I want to say is a flashlight taped to my rifle. $5 Chinese flashlight. Okay, these things are super cheap, they're waterproof, rechargeable, you can put a battery in them, and it's LED, so there's not this glass bulb that can break. It's durable. Sometimes they have red light, sometimes strobe light, white light, different settings on that. And it's all activated by thumb on the back of the flashlight. So I've used this in every single war that I've been in. And it's something I would teach when I was working with Trident Defense Initiative to all the Ukrainian soldiers. And whenever I would have donations from you guys, I would donate 25 flashlights to these students. Then I tape the flashlight to the gas tube on their weak side. You first go with masking tape really, really tight, and then you go with electrical tape really, really tight. It's gonna stay there even through a couple magazines. It doesn't get so hot that it's going to burn off the tape. And the reason we use this is kind of obvious. The alternative is either night vision, which is super expensive, or a PEC 16. All of these are just not affordable. But a $5 flashlight and tape is affordable. Even a nice Surefire flashlight is going to cost you $100, even more. And then you have to get the mounting mechanism for it. It's all, I don't know. $5 Chinese flashlight works just fine. Next one up. 550 cord sling. So I was an RPK gunner when I first started off in Iraq, and we didn't have a sling. Or I think we did have a sling, but it was falling apart. So instead of using that sling and having to deal with it, I just got 550 cord, paracord, a lot of people know it as, and I just used that as a sling. Started digging in my shoulder at one point, so I just put some padding, and it's a sling. It's not adjustable, it's not the perfect sling, but you're not gonna waste $70. You're gonna waste, 50 cents. It's an option, especially if you're out in the field and your sling breaks. The next trick that I found out was a dump pouch. These things are pretty cheap. It's like $20. It's a pouch that you have near your weak side usually, so you can put expended magazines into, or if you're an infantryman, water, snacks. It's just a nice pouch on your weak side, and it's useful for everything. The thing is, you're not always going to be able to find a dump pouch, especially if there's a war going on. Everybody's buying any pouch that they find. So when I first got to Ukraine, I didn't have a dump pouch. Or in Iraq, they don't even sell dump pouches. They don't even know the use of it. They're like, just throw the magazine. So when I was in Iraq, I found one of our bomb positions, and there was an RPG bag that was it was toasted, like half it was destroyed. But there was a pouch that was big enough to be a dump pouch that was attached to the side of this RPG bag. So I just cut it off, 550 cord, put a little hole in my vest, and dump pouch. And I wore it the entire year that I was there. Now in Ukraine, I had to do the same thing. First got there, everybody was buying all the military equipment. I didn't have one. I was 2 hours away from going on my first mission. Yes, the one in Mykolaiv, Kherson region. And I needed a dump pouch because I didn't know what kind of crazy we were gonna get into. So when we were given our AK, we were also given 4 magazines with 4 30-round little boxes of ammunition in this nice, Soviet bag. And it was a durable bag too. I took out all the magazines, loaded them, put it in my vest. Then I took that bag, and it's got these little slots for the magazines. I just cut out the slots for the magazines, took out all that stuff, and I made this big pouch. And then I did the same thing that I did in Iraq. It's a dump pouch, it's completely free, it's something you can make out of anything, instead of wasting $20. I know it doesn't sound that wild, I'm not the person who invented this. I actually got this idea from Syria where this guy had absolutely nothing, and instead of buying this gear, he's an anarchist, so he wanted to go and build it, and he made this really nice rig out of one old uniform trousers. So he just took it, knitted it together, and he made magazine pouches and dump pouches, and just this whole setup out of old trousers that were free, So let's get into the juicy stuff. This stuff actually involves phones. Here's a couple things that I found are effective. So when I was in Iraq, we were working out of this tunnel system. So sometimes we would have drones flying above us and we couldn't go outside, but we needed to know what was going on outside. So how do we do that? Well, we have a camera. Okay, we have our phone. How do we get that out there? Oh, we tie it to a big stick. Yeah, so we get this big pole. I found this metal pole. I taped up the phone to the top of it. You even have that option. If you have an Apple Watch, you can see a live feed from your phone. So you can see what it's recording. So theoretically, you can have a periscope and have a live feed of what's going on without putting your head up. I don't know how effective this is. It's some bootleg. But at least in the tunnel system situation, it worked out fantastic. I didn't use it that much, but when I needed it, an idea was there. So anyway, I've probably got a couple more, but those are all the ones that I want to go and tell you. If you were making a setup on a budget, if you're in war and you're like, oh my god, I can't find a dump pouch or this or that, you can make shift a lot. So just keep it in the back of your mind, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks to the members as well. You guys are truly amazing, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace. put it to 200 meters.